And our sign language interpreter doing the voicing is Wanchangede. Let's start the news. President William Ruto has reaffirmed his unwavering belief in transformative capacity of Kenyans' young population, describing faith as deep and unshakable. Speaking from State House, Nairobi, the president emphasized that his vision of elevating Kenya to first world status within his lifetime is anchored in the capabilities and ingenuity of the nation's youth. Highlighting the role of young Kenyans in driving social and economic change, President Ruto said that the country's future rests in their hands. He urged the youth to embrace innovation, entrepreneurship, and civic responsibility, stressing that their active participation is critical to realizing Kenyans' ambitious development goals. And on to our next news. Kenyans now have an opportunity to own stake in the Kenya Pipeline Company with an entry investment of just 900 shillings as part of a new initiative designed to expand public access to capital markets. Details contained in the information memorandum indicate that shares are priced at 9 shillings each, with investors required to buy a minimum of 100 shares, making the offer accessible to a wide section of the population. The share sale is projected to bring at least 2 million Kenyans into the capital market, representing one of the largest efforts in recent years to promote broad-based public ownership and deepen investor participation. And in other news, Kiharu Member of Parliament Dindi Nyoro has proposed that Safaricom be split into 3 separate entities with shares in each listed and sold independently, instead of the government selling 15% stake in the telecommunications giant to Vodacom. Nyoro argued that any deinvestment of state shareholding in major companies should be accompanied by broader structural reforms aimed at unlocking greater value, enhancing transparency, and strengthening corporate accountability. He maintained that the breakup would promote competition, improve governance, and deliver better returns to the public.
We'll just cut corners, take government assets for free, and purport to be the only buyers in the market. Who said there is the only buyer? We should not be discussing anything below 45 per share. But we've been cornered by these guys. We are now gasping for breath on the side of the loss. One license, we are losing 40 billion Kenya shillings. One license. On a discount, given how? Given only by the management of CA. They actually gave this authorization before the board met. What role are they playing for them to be paid 40% of the 3 billion?
The due diligence must be done. Let workers be protected. Let their welfare be protected. Let their pension scheme, it has got one of the best pension schemes today.
We'll increase foreign direct investment by the same amount, and other things the same. Will support a further build-up of our international reserves.
And on to our next news. Principal Secretary for Internal Security, Dr. Raymond Omolo, has said regional multi-agency approaches to emergency response have significantly strengthened border security and improved Kenyans' capacity to counter transitional threats. Speaking in Nairobi during the opening of a 3-day border security workshop, Dr. Omolo noted that close coordination among security agencies and regional partners has enhanced intelligence sharing, rapid response, and overall preparedness along the country's borders. He added that modern border threats are increasingly complex and evolving, underscoring the need for sustained collaboration, integrated systems, and joint planning to effectively address security risks in cross-border and global dimensions.
These networks exploit the weaknesses in border management, the indigenous porous or the porous border crossing points, gaps that exist in our capacity to be able to detect, limited interoperability, weak interagency coordination, as well as loopholes that are legislative in nature. In Kenya, there's specialized training programs that have strengthened the capacity of frontline officers to be able to detect illicit goods and human trafficking. These are not merely technical achievements, as each intervention contributes to safer borders, disrupted criminal networks, and protected communities. They demonstrate what is possible when we pool knowledge, resources, and political commitment.
One of our most sacred duties as governments is to work together every day to deny, disrupt, and dismantle criminal and terrorist networks that threaten the peace and security and prosperity that we're trying to achieve. And we want to do that by strengthening institutions and supporting African-led responses to the insecurity that continues to disrupt trade routes and investment flows.
For us at the Kenya School of Government, through our Security Management Institute, we will continue to endeavor collaboration to fight against all this, the aspect of violent extremism and other dangers out there, including some of these emerging technologies, cybersecurity.
As we undertake this work, we must ensure that our regional practices align with evolving global standards and frameworks.
And in other news, Labour and Social Protection Cabinet Secretary Dr. Alfred Mutua has raised concern over judicial bottlenecks and lengthy court procedures, saying they are undermining efforts to prosecute fraudsters who con Kenyans seeking employment opportunities abroad. Speaking in Nairobi on Tuesday, Dr. Mutua revealed that out of 390 cases filed over the past 6 months, only 15 have been concluded, a situation he describes as alarming given the scale of job-related fraud targeting vulnerable job seekers. And moving on, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission has cautioned politicians against inciting members of the public to engage in violence, warning that inflammatory rhetoric poses a serious threat to national unity and stability. Speaking in Nairobi during the launch of 2 key documents aimed at regulating and countering hate speech, NCIC Director in charge of investigations and legal compliance, Professor James Wanyande, said the Commission is intensifying efforts to curb the spread of harmful messages, particularly in the political space. Professor Wanyande said NCIC will ensure firm legal action is taken against individuals found culpable of promoting hate speech, noting that accountability is essential to safeguard peace and coexistence, strengthening national cohesion.
Some of the challenges that we know that we may encounter, one is uncoordinated efforts.
So the purpose of these 2 documents is to enable different stakeholders play their role in ensuring that we monitor social media, we ensure that there's no spread of hate speech as we approach the elections in 2027.
Katiba yetu imesema ya kwamba Article 38, political rights. Kenyans have the right to form a political party, join a political party, even giving themselves for elective positions and be elected to the office. But we need peace for everyone to vie, for everyone to join a political party, for everyone to campaign for a political party or an ideology that speaks to their democratic aspirations.
Somebody saying the Muslims are being favored in this government. Such things which lack basis, such biasness, it is these guidelines that will ensure that we tame misinformation, okay? And such biasness that might bring division in our society.
The weak legal framework, as I said, like one of them being our act. We have political interference, because most of the perpetrators of hate speech ni wanasiasa.
One of the other things that we've proposed is to give NCC the power to vet politicians or anybody who is seeking either elective or appointive positions. If NCC is given that power to be able to vet these people seeking either elective or appointive posts, then we'll be able to tame a lot of this rhetoric, negative rhetoric.
You can be popular, but you're inciting people. Those people should be barred from contesting. However much you're popular, you should be barred, because you cannot incite this tribe against this tribe. Then people allow you to contest. The backstop with the IBC.
As much as we are calling for content moderation, as much as we are calling for regulations, we should also ensure that our people enjoy the freedom of speech as enshrined in our constitution.
Thank you for watching Science TV News. Thank you for joining us. My name is Edna Kaindi and our sign language interpreter, Wanjangede. Thank you and have a good afternoon.